I'm going to talk about something today that could potentially upset some of you. Now, I want to give a quick disclaimer. Do not let this get to you. Do not let anything ruin your peace of mind. Do not let anything ruin your joy in life. Make sure that you're always out there feeling good. And by feeling good, essentially, I just mean feeling better than whatever you currently are. Feel a little bit better. So take some time to feel good. Now, as long as you're mentally healthy, being aware of some things in this world that are there to contend with, even things that are not so good for you. There's people out there that don't want you to do whatever it is you want to do. They want to ruin your peace of mind. They want to ruin your joy. As long as you're mentally healthy, being aware of those things can be beneficial. So whatever I'm going to say, don't get upset. Regardless of whatever type of person you are, I can get along with anyone regardless of where you're from, what your race is, things like that. I can pretty much get along with lots of different types of people. And regardless of what type of person you are, hopefully you enjoyed this video and get something out of it. Now, yesterday for my job, I had to take a day-long CPR course. Now, most of the class consisted of watching tons of short videos. So these videos, they were produced by the American Heart Association. And these were Hollywood productions. They were well-produced videos. They weren't cheesy. They were straight to the point. They were effective pretty much on telling you the information that you need to learn. And the acting was done by professional actors. These are people that you'll say, oh, I've seen some of these guys, and this guy has a commercial currently on, or that guy looks familiar. I think I've seen him in some stuff. So these are legit trained actors. So it wasn't cheesy, so I have no problems with the content. However, I couldn't help but notice something. And in today's world, we're not supposed to notice things. And if we do, God forbid, we bring them up. Now, starting with the first video, it was a black person that came to the rescue. And that was the first video. And I thought to myself, well, I really should expect this. And of course, there's nothing wrong with that. But then the next video came on. A black person comes to the rescue. And video after video was playing, and they were pretty much almost all like that, a black person coming to the rescue. Now, if this would have been a few videos out of all these videos we watched, I would have actually thought that's great, because we all learn by seeing examples, and many people learn things how to be through television, movies, entertainment, which is why you also have to be very conscious of what you're taking in, because it does have an influence on you. There is an energy that rubs off on you. And I was telling my wife recently about the show Family Matters, and I said this was a show about a black family, but it was a great show. If you were white, if you were any other race, you could identify with it and you could enjoy it, because the show wasn't about them being black. It was about them being a normal family, having normal family issues that any family in America could identify with. And they were a great family, a great example of a family. And it was a great show back in the day. I haven't seen it for so many years, but even a few years ago, they started showing The Cosby Show on television. And this is right before his current scandal broke. So they were airing the show, and my wife was saying, I really like this show. This is such a nice family. This is a black family, she's saying, but I don't feel like there's anything odd about them. It's not something I can't identify with. I really like this show, The Cosby Show. So even my wife, who's from another country and another culture, she very much identified with that. And I think it's great that people, all different types of people and all different types of backgrounds, that they have good, positive examples to show them what is positive. So I'm not complaining about having black people save whites and things like that. I think that's actually great. But however, video after video, and whenever a video would start playing and there was a black person running to the rescue, I'd look around the room and I was thinking, is anyone else noticing this? And I came home on my lunch break and I told my wife this was video after video. And she's from another country. She's been in America less than a year, but she's watched TV. She's noticed things too. And she's noticed there's certain agendas out there. And she said, so even CPR videos, they're aligned with the agenda. Now, why were they making this the theme of videos? Was it because George Soros is checking off approving their videos? Was the Illuminati producing these videos? Were they trying to fulfill the New World Order? No, I actually think it's none of that. It's something very simple, and that is it's the safe thing to do. I'm sure they're worried that if they make a video and it's a white person rescuing a black person, things like that, they're worried, well, someone might criticize us for portraying blacks as helpless or something like that. They'll think about those types of things. So they did what they saw as the safe thing to do. Now, after lunch, I went back and they played a video and it's like, wow, a white person is going to save the day. This is different. And it turned out a black guy runs out of the building behind him and has to at least aid in it. Now, out of this day of all these videos, it was all people of color, mostly blacks, saving the day, which is interesting considering they're only 13% of the population. What are the odds that there's always going to be a black person there to save the day? It just doesn't even make sense from a numbers standpoint. But after lunch, they finally had a video where it was a white guy that did the saving. And basically it was a very simple scenario. It was two soccer coaches. One was Latino, the other was a white guy, and he assisted him by getting him an inhaler when the Latino guy started having an asthma attack during the soccer game. But interestingly enough, the one group that was not represented the whole time was the LGBT people, the alphabet people. I didn't see any videos of a drag queen coming to save a child or something like that. So it was kind of interesting. I don't know when these videos were produced, but they were very recent, obviously recent video. Like I said, there was one guy at least that I saw that I said, oh, this guy currently has a commercial on television. And I imagine if you watch their videos from the 1970s, it probably would have been the opposite. White people doing most of the saving, and you would have had, I'm sure, some black people in it. And like I said, I'm not complaining about that. I think they need good, positive examples of what can be done, what can be achieved for them. But things like this are out there, and I just felt like, am I the only one that noticed this in the entire class? I mean, obviously, it's the kind of thing you probably can't say anything about to the other people. What's with the theme of these videos? But it's out there. Now, I know how a lot of people, you can say that's just another thing for us, especially white guys, that's just another thing for us to contend with, and another thing for us to battle this whole current thing where everything is portrayed that way, even if it's not necessarily something realistically portrayed. Now, I know you guys could get upset about that. Like what I'm telling you, don't though. Just understand that this is to be expected. This is the way it is. Do not let it rob your joy. Do not let it steal your peace of mind. And keep these things in mind. As long as you're mentally healthy, you can deal with these things. And you should not be letting it stop you from achieving your goals, going after whatever it is, regardless of what society is like. Even 50 years ago, when we didn't have a lot of these types of themes, there was people out there that were naysayers, that were always trying to be negative, trying to get you distracted from having your eye on the prize of whatever it is you want. People that always want to be a naysayer and say something negative, oh, you can't do that, something like that. That's always been out there, and it's always going to be out there, so don't let it down. Keep on feeling good, and until next time, my friends.